Hi, my name is Mary. Thank you for joining me. I have a couple of nice stretches to help open up the neck and shoulder area, as well as a couple of hip stretches. So let's come to your mat. Start by coming into mountain pose. So have your feet grounded into the earth. Take a breath in, expand your spine, allow your shoulders to drop down, bringing your shoulder blades together in your back. Slight bend to your knees. So to start, have your hands by your sides, and we'll just take a look to the left. And we're just going to hold this for a couple of breaths. So breathing in and out, focusing on having a smooth inhale and exhale, about the same length for inhale and exhale. Having just a slight feeling of a stretch along your right side. As you take a breath in, come back to center, and then just let's look to the opposite side. So just turning your head to a stopping point, so not overstraining. And just taking a couple of nice, smooth, steady breaths. Maybe noticing your shoulders are still down and back. I just noticed my knees were a little locked, so just finding some softness there. And then let's come back to center. Now bring your chin towards your chest to a point where you feel a little bit of a stretch in your upper spine. Starting by evening out your breath. And then once you've tuned into your breath, just notice your other posture, shoulders down and back, slight bend to your knees. Feeling your feet really grounded in the earth. Okay, let's take one more breath here. And then when you breathe in, just let your head gently rise up. So now next, we're just going to bring left ear towards left shoulder. And then you can think about keeping your shoulders down and back. If you've kind of scrunched your shoulders up, you might notice as you bring your shoulders down, you feel a little bit more opening along the left side. So you could even close your eyes here if that feels okay. And just once again, coming into your breath. And then when you're ready to breathe in, let your head come up and then go right to the other side. And then resetting your posture, letting your shoulders be down and back, but not tense, finding softness in your shoulders, softness in your knees, feeling really connected with the earth as your feet are pressed into the ground. And just allowing your breath to flow. And then when you breathe in, let your neck come up. So now what we're going to do is move your left ear towards left shoulder again, and then slowly look a little bit towards your left shoulder. So you'll notice a slightly different area on your right side that's stretched. So resetting your posture again, and just really feeling the openness on the right side of your neck. Maybe you can even imagine tension just rolling off your right shoulder. Let's take one more breath here. bring your chin towards your chest again. So we're just going to roll over to the other side. So if it's hard to find that adjustment that way, you can just move your right ear towards right shoulder and then look down slightly. And just adjust your arms as needed. For any of these stretches, you could bring your hands behind your back and draw your shoulder blades down. Sometimes that's a little bit too intense, so you decide what works best for your body. So now this time, exhale, roll your chin towards your chest, and then just let your head rise up. So now lift your right arm right in front of you, and then cross your body, and then hold the back of your right arm with your left hand. So you'll be feeling an openness in your shoulder area. So now noticing your knees again. Mine were locked, so finding softness in your knees, grounding in your feet. You could look straight ahead or turn your head to the right and let your breath flow. As you're breathing, you could notice where your breath originates, maybe in your chest or ribs or belly. See if you can use your full breathing space as you're holding the stretch. Now let that go. Let's reset in mountain pose. So soft knees, grounded feet, shoulders down and back. And then we'll do the opposite side. So bringing left arm over, holding on with right hand, and then choosing which head placement feels best for you. So looking forward or over left shoulder. And just following the flow of your breath. Soft knees, grounded feet. And then you can let that go. Let's reset in mountain. Now we'll just do a slightly different iteration of that pose. So bringing right arm forward, holding on again with the left hand, but bend at the elbow at about a 90-degree angle. And then you can choose either to make a fist or have your hands straight. And maybe looking over your right shoulder. Just feeling maybe just a little bit of a slightly different stretch when you bend your elbow. And then we'll let that go. Reset in mountain pose. And then let's just switch to the other side. So crossing left arm over, bending your elbow, choosing a hand placement that feels great for your body, and also deciding where it feels best to turn your head or not. And not really leveraging the stretch too much, but just finding a spot where you feel openness, but never pain. And then you can let that go. Let's just take a nice deep breath in. Bring your arms overhead. And then bring your hands to your heart and down by your sides. So now step your feet wider than hip distance with your toes pointed outward. We're going to bend at the knees. So coming into what's called a goddess squat, you can start with your hands at your heart. So keep your spine really long. Draw your tailbone a little bit down. Now you can open up your arms. If that feels okay, you can come to cactus arms or have your arms overhead. And what we're going to do, we're going to lateral bend. So first moving to the left You could look up at your arm, coming back to center with your arms up or cactus, and then moving to the opposite side. You could place your right hand on your thigh just for a little bit more support, and come back to center. So let's do that 2 more times on both sides. So take a breath in as you reach up. Exhale down. Breath in. Exhale down. And let's do 1 more on each side. Perfect. And you can just kind of step your feet together. Let's take a breath at the front of your mat. We're going to fold forward, but plant your hands and just step yourself back to all fours. And then come into child's pose. If it feels okay to rest your forehead on the mat, otherwise you could maybe find a block or something to let your head rise up a little bit. But let your neck relax. Now bring your right hand to the outside of your mat. Place your left hand over your right. So you could let your head rest on your right upper arm. And feel the openness along the left side of your body. And you could even just stretch your left arm a little bit forward. So you might feel that stretch all the way down to your left hip. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Come back to center. And then let's move to the other side. So left hand on the outside of your mat. Place your right hand on your left. Let your neck relax. And then just stretch your right arm so that you feel a stretch all along the right side of your body, even down towards the outside of your hip. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Come back to center. And then we'll come back to all fours. Let's do 1 round of cat-cow. So just bring your chest forward, tailbone up. Round your spine into cat pose. Chin towards chest, tucking in your tailbone. And then find your way to your belly, however that works for you. Start by bringing your hands alongside your chest, palm side down. Start by resting your forehead on the mat. Press the tops of your feet into the earth. And we'll start just by peeling our chest off the ground. Draw your shoulder blades back, pressing your feet into the earth. Holding for 1 breath. And then lowering down. Now bring your arms out in front of you. Stretch your spine long. Now we're going to take a breath in and then lift forehead, arms, and legs off the ground like Superman or Superwoman. Let's take 2 breaths here, lower down. And just feel your body just let go, melt into your mat. And do that 1 more time. So when you're ready to breathe in, take a breath in and let everything rise up. Keeping your head so that your crown is pointed forward. So don't strain your neck here. And then just come down, place your hands underneath your forehead. Let your body melt into your mat. Now bring your hands alongside your chest. Press yourself up to all fours first. And then we'll sink into child's pose just for a breath. come back to all fours and find yourself in a seated position. Start with your legs in a V in front of you. Take a breath in and then fold forward. So you could have your hands for support in front of you. You could come down on your forearms if that feels okay. Find evenness on your sitting bones. Let your neck relax. If you find that you're having a lot of tension in your shoulders and neck area, just walk your hands up. You could even place your hands on your thighs. See if then just letting your shoulders sink down and back, letting your neck relax. Breath in, breath out. Now let yourself rise up. Now we'll come to a pose called Baddha Konasana. Some people know it as butterfly pose. So you bring the bottoms of your feet together and then choose how close you want to bring your heels towards your body. So think about having even weight on both of your sitting bones. Sitting up tall to start. Maybe this is where you stay. So this is an option to hold your breath and breathe. The other option is to allow yourself to fold forward. But if you're folding forward, make sure you have that softness in your shoulders and neck. Maybe bringing your forearms so that they rest on your shins. And then find the flow of your breath. You can notice how your body moves as you're breathing to keep you present. Perhaps noticing the sensation of your breath as you breathe in and out. One more breath here. Allow yourself to rise up and then come to your back. So however it feels good to come to your back, you could bring the soles of your feet together again. Start with your hands at your sides. And then we're just going to take a couple of breaths here, just letting your legs come up a little bit with an inhale, and then letting your legs sink down. And then just move with your breath, breathing in and out. Breath in, breath out. One more time. Bring your feet so that they're planted on the earth. Cross your right leg over left. I'll offer 3 different poses for this figure 4 or pigeon on back. So just starting with your right ankle crossed over left knee, you could lift your left foot off the ground. That's another option. The third option is to hold on either to your left shin or the back of your left thigh. And then more options, because this is your practice. You could move from side to side, or you could find stillness. Whatever version you choose, now is the time to tune in to the flow of your breath. not straining, if you find yourself really straining, just choose a different option. So maybe resting your left foot on the ground. One more breath in whatever position you've chosen. Uncross your leg and we'll move to the other side. So cross left ankle over right knee. And find which position of the pose works best for your body. You might find that one side is tighter than the other. So just work with yourself to find a point of a stretch, but no pain, and not trying to force anything, and just being aware that you might have some asymmetry in your body. And one thing you could do is, if you do find some asymmetry, maybe just spend a little bit of a longer time on the side that feels a little tighter, but not trying to stretch it further, just staying in a pose where you feel a little bit of a stretch. Maybe staying twice as long on one side as the other. But you don't want to completely not stretch the other side, because then that side might get a little tight. And choosing if you want to find stillness. Maybe there's a spot that you're focusing on and working on, or maybe it just feels better to move back and forth, and that's something that you need to decide for yourself, for your practice. Okay, so we can bring both feet down. Let's do just a couple of breaths in Apanasana. So place your hands on your knees, feet up. Take a breath in with your arms straight, and then as you exhale, draw your knees towards your chest. And then inhaling, straighten your arms, knees away. And then take 2 more breaths, just moving in your own time. Seeing if you can use your breath as the length of your movement. So exhaling all the way in, and then when you're ready to inhale, moving to the other side. And then you can bring your legs up to the sky. You could place your hands underneath your low back, palm side down. Or if it feels better, you can just have your arms by your side. So you choose what feels best for you. And then come into the flow of your breath. Let your feet come down. Roll onto a side and press yourself up to a seat. Thank you for taking the time for your self-care and practicing with me. Namaste. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just hit the little red square that says subscribe. Thank you for joining me.